Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Auto-tune. Me. We're gonna do lots of singing today. We're gonna do lots of singing in this video today. So I gotta get my voice ready. Me. The album, Dad. Shimmy, yeah. My baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 to 5, unless you're Michaela Nagara, then 5:30 sometimes. And then he takes another road home again to find... That song is really sexist. You know, now that I think about it, I have to tell you. Okay, so this was not the video that I was planning on making today. In all honesty, I was like kind of thinking about which videos. I have a whole list, okay, because you know I just got back from vacation. So I have a whole list of videos for each of my channels. I'm changing YouTube channels to YouTube channels. It's a new feature that YouTube's breaking out. Anyway, I was sitting outside and I was putting together all of like the videos that I was like thinking about making and stuff. And my neighbor walked by and I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm going to the pool. Come to the pool. We're all going to the pool." And I was like, "No, I just was gone for 10 days. I need to film some videos." She's like, "All right, but we're going to miss you at the pool." So here's the deal, okay? I'm going to make a deal with you guys. If I can get this video to 100,000... let's just play on the safe side. If I can get this video to 15,000 views, no, let's not say views, because then by some trickery, okay, of the voodoo that Jojo Siwa puts out in the world, I'll get like 15,100 views on this video. We're aiming real low these days, baby. We're aiming real low, okay? Let's say if I get 20,000 views in this video, that I will not go to the pool anymore this summer. I'm crossing my fingers. That I don't get 20,000. Who hopes that they don't get so many views? I hope, because I want to go to the pool the rest of this summer. Anyway, we already know it's going to get like 4,000 views. I'm not worried about it at all. But anyway, I was sitting out there and my neighbor was like, "Oh my God, you should come to the pool. We're all going to the pool," and stuff like that. I was like, "No." And then tomorrow's cousin fun day where my cousin picks me up and we go to the grocery store and stuff. So I'm thinking about going to the pool on Thursday. So I was like, okay, I'm going to film a video today. Well, I had a bunch of different videos that I wanted to film. That was what my video was about yesterday. And people have been sending me stuff. And so I hadn't yet opened my Instagram. So I got into my DMs on Instagram. Well, yesterday in my video, I talked about Jojo Siwa. And so I started getting these messages, and I could see, like, at the beginning of the message, like, some of these messages that said Jojo Siwa. And I was like, oh, people are wanting me to do this video about Jojo Siwa, and saying she's not a lesbian no more, and all this kind of stuff, okay? And I was like, you know, that video might get me a little heated, it might be a little dark-sided. I was wanting to do something kind of fun today. So I started reading these Instagram messages, and it was all the same thing, okay? And I don't know if it's because I just talked about Jojo Siwa in my video yesterday. I don't know if it's because people know that I love the rockin' hits of the 80s and that I used to roller skate to them in my driveway. I don't know if it's because I sing a lot of 80s hits over here. Okay, and before I even get into this, because I know people are going to be like, "Oh, Peter is slamming Jojo Siwa's voice and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, but he thinks he's a singer." Listen, me putting out an album has been a joke since day one, okay? I know I can't sing even though I was on a children's album when I was growing up, okay? My babysitter, Edie Mae, she was in, like, the best choir at the high school that I ended up going to, which was the Ambassadors, okay? And then Edie Mae was my babysitter for the whole summer that my mom was getting her master's degree in English. And so we would sing together, because she, you know, I like to sing and think. So anyway, we would sing together. Well, they were putting together her vocal coach and also her choir teacher, which was going to be my choir teacher. But then I didn't end up staying in choir, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, she was putting together a children's album, okay? And so then Edie Mae was like, "Oh my God, this kid that I babysit, he's got a great singing voice." Because you know I do, you know? But anyway, and so then I remember we went to her house, and we all sat, like, in the living room, and we all, like, practiced this song and stuff like that. I think, like, I don't even know if I got credits on the album, but I'm, like, on one song on the album. It's not like that. We all sat in the living room. I remember I was real nervous, real excited. You know, I think, like, I've kind of thought about this, and whenever I tell, like, I'm kind of leaving out parts of the story, but anyway, listen, I don't know where half them people are today, okay? But anyway, I will tell you this, that in retrospect, I've had a couple people, when I've told it to me, say, did you ever think that maybe that choir teacher, like, this was a marketing tool for her getting more students for vocal coaching? And I was like, I don't like that. I was on a children's album. Fuck. I was. Jojo Siwa was teaching Nia how to point her toes. So anyway, before we get in this video and people are like, oh, but Peter thinks he can sing. Listen, I've never claimed to be no vocal coach. I'm not one of those channels, okay, that like pulls apart people's songs and say Beyonce can't sing and all that kind of stuff. I'm not one of those people. Vocal coach, you know, slams Beyonce's new song, okay? I'm not that person, okay? I like to think that I can sing a little bit or carry a tune and things like that. Last night on repeat while I was putting out my videos, you would have thought I was Taylor Swift on the Eras tour, okay? I had my headphones on, and I was singing All Too Well, the 10-minute version. I just kept on singing over and over and over. Then she did a mix of what was it? You're on Your Own Kid. And anyway, she did all these different mixes, you know, mashups at the piano. I love all that. So I had my headphones on, you know, and I was singing all kind of stuff. And my husband kept on saying something. He was up here catching up on the Love Island TikToks. And I said, did you need something, babe? And he goes, can you just please stop singing so loud? I was like, but I'm Taylor Swift. Don't you know? Don't you know that I'm Taylor Swift? By the way, a little insider information. I was looking up, I knew that Taylor Swift was in her 30s. She's going to be 36, I think, in December. But if you're a Swiftie, don't come for me. I don't know her exact birthday. But anyway, so Taylor Swift is, like, closer to me in age than she is, like, 15-year-olds, just to put that out there. But I actually looked it up last night because I was like, what's the average age of, like, Taylor Swift's fans? And I was blown away, you guys. Do you know that her average age fan, it's something like 35 to 42 is her average age of, like, her main fans out there, which was kind of surprising to me. But anyway, we all think we can sing, you know? But listen, some of us don't try to put out music like Jojo Siwa, okay? And are threatening your fans that you're going to put out music. And that's what it is. That's why my title is something like Jojo Siwa threatens her fans. Because she did. And her fans, and just to clarify this, when people want to come to my video and they say, Jojo Siwa didn't threaten her fans. Her fans on her own TikTok said that they felt like, they were like, are you threatening us? So that's where I got the title from. You can go over to Jojo Siwa's TikTok. You can take it up with her people, okay? I don't have people, and definitely we don't share the same people, okay? And if we do share the same people, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe, I don't know, reevaluate your life if you're one of Jojo Siwa's people. That girl is a mess, okay? On 100 million different levels, right? And I just want to say this for the record, that when people say things like, well, Jojo Siwa grew up and she was a dance mom, and Jojo Siwa grew up and, you know, she was like a child star on TV. We do not, okay, I know that that might be a horrible life to, like, get paid $50,000 for an Instagram post and be able to pay for your family's house and have a career and, I don't know, never have to, like, do all this kind of stuff and hustle and bustle and interview for jobs. I know that that is a really, really hard life for those child stars out there. But there are a lot of child stars today that are doing fantastically, okay? That are doing a lot of philanthropic work around the world, that are doing a lot of service work, a lot of them that have served our country, a lot of them that are going to Harvard and Princeton and Yale, and they still are not threatening us to release music, okay? And I'm not taking away any of Jojo Siwa's traumatic experiences, but she really hasn't shared a whole lot of those with us, okay? So when people want to make those excuses for us, when Jojo Siwa wants to come out and start sharing all those traumatic experiences, and then people say, well, she's too young for that. Listen, we've all had a lot of shit in our lives, okay? We've all gone through some shit in our lives. I just, on my Instagram last night, posted about this thing with Maya Angelou, and Maya Angelou says that she's had a lot of clouds in her, well, she's passed away now, but she said in her life she had a lot of clouds, but she also had a lot of rainbows, and it's all perspective on how you look at it, okay? From where I'm sitting, I think Jojo Siwa has had a pretty easy life, okay? I'm just saying. And none of those dance moms, I mean, listen, Abby Lee Miller told Nia to point her toes literally every week, maybe twice on Sundays, and Nia is not, like, screaming to the universe about threatening to release more music, okay? So we just need to hold it in, all right? We don't need to, like, be in the comment sections like Gabby Hanna. We need to hold it in, okay, when we want to start making excuses. We did that for, like, 6 years for James Charles, okay? For 6 years, we made excuses for James Charles that he wasn't emotionally developed, that he didn't have good role models, that he didn't have this and that and whatever. Now, James Charles is a grown fucking adult, okay? And he's emotionally developed per neuroscience and all that kind of stuff. and he's still doing the same shit he was doing before, okay? So let's just leave those excuses by the door and we'll reevaluate them down the road. This is not the video. This video is talking about her releasing new music. Well, a cover of a song, okay? Which apparently is what she's best at. She don't write her own lyrics, okay, ever. She done stolen that song, that Karma song or whatever from that Britney girl, I don't know, not Britney Spears, but anyway. And now she's threatening to do this cover of Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. I know, children, listen, it is drama class, and I was not prepared for this today. So I opened my DMs, and everybody starts sending me this video of Jojo Siwa on the TikTok, right? Now, you know, I don't go to the TikTok, okay? I can't be bothered with the TikTok. It bores me, if you want to know the truth. So anyway, and it's just like, it's just roll, roll, roll. It's like roll, ad, roll, ad, roll, ad, roll, ad. So anyway, I was real bored, and I was like, what is going on there? Well, I don't know if you can see this or not. Whenever I show a picture, nobody can ever see it. But anyway, she looks like she's dressed up like one of the sister wives. I don't know what's going on here. She looked like she's a debutante or something like that. Oh, now that I showed my, come on now. Come on, focus back on me in the light. There, see the light. Anyway, she's got this bluish dress on. She looks like she's a debutante in the South or something like that. This pearl necklace on, all these kinds of things. And she's doing this cover of Betty Davis Eyes, okay? Now, when I heard this at first, now I've never thought that Jojo Siwa was a singer-songstress of the world. I mean, it's not like, yeah, it's not like tomorrow she's gonna be on Broadway. I mean, she's not, you know? Unless she's playing, you know. I feel like you can't make any jokes anymore, because I was going to say, and I meant because like her voice, like barking, I was going to say unless she's playing Sandy and Annie, but then people would say, oh, he's calling her dog. I'm not calling her dog. I think she's whatever, Jojo Siwa. She had no dog, okay? But I'm just saying, like, the barking. Her voice when she sings sounds like she's barking at me. I'm like, girl, no, leave it, Jojo. Stop with the singing, okay? You know, like, if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race and they always have to do a song, okay? First of all, if I was on RuPaul's Drag Race, you know, now it's like, if you get on RuPaul's Drag Race, when I came out, okay, at 18 years old, all my friends were drag queens back in the day. And if my friends weren't drag queens, then they were all the guys that hung out with drag queens. That would probably be a better way to put it. Most of my friends were the guys that hung out with drag queens back in the day, okay? So anyway, but, you know, none of them gals could live sing. I remember back in the day, I will never forget this, okay? True story, fact check this, okay? That one of my friends back in the day, Terry Vanessa Coleman, is now former Miss National, okay? She was running, she lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and she was running for National Entertainer of the Year. And her talent, I think it was 1993 when Shayla Simpson won. It was my first national talent pageant. She was going to sing Bridge Over Troubled Water live, okay? And a lot of the talk was because RuPaul was really big at that time. And that there were, like, producers in the audience that were looking for, like, the next, like, female impersonator that could sing live, okay? Terry didn't win. I think she came first runner-up or something like that. But anyway, all of Louisville was rooting for her because she was from Louisville. But then several years later, Angelique Ali won, okay? And she live sang. And it was a huge deal, okay? But in all honesty, not most female impersonators sing. They just don't, okay? Some of them, if they're like the host of a show, like Hurricane Summers that was at The Connection in Louisville, are hilarious, okay? And do things like attitude check, fuck you, and tell jokes and pick people out of the audience. But most drag queens are not just like naturally funny, can do skits, or actors, actresses, and can sing songs live. Not many of them can. But on RuPaul's Drag Race, we expect all of them to do it. Now, I don't know about you, okay? But I love reality TV. Now, just because Jojo Siwa can put on a bow and she can do some spins and some flips on stage, I do not expect her to be able to sing. In fact, I don't want to hear her sing, okay? But I don't expect her to be able to sing. Now on RuPaul's Drag Race, all these gals, so like if you watch the show, okay, they'll have to do songs and then like they'll try to sing like live and they're like, you know, like, Delta Dawn, what's up, flower? And you're like, ah, my ears. And then like the singer, like producer that nobody's ever heard of before except for the people on RuPaul's Drag Race, and they're like, it's Tony Smith. They're like, ah, not Tony Smith, we gotta work with Tony Smith. I've never heard of Tony Smith. But anyway, and then he'll be like, have you thought about rapping your lyrics instead of singing your lyrics? Okay, that's kind of what my advice would be to Jojo Siwa and her singing career, would be actually that maybe you should maybe rap your lyrics that you stole from other people instead of singing your lyrics. Actually, JoJo, my advice to you as a singer-songstress would be silence is golden. That would be it. Okay, girl, you don't have a singing voice. Okay, we need to know where our strengths are. I know my strengths are 100% in the read and the shade and not the singing. Okay, I know that all day long. Okay. So people keep on sending this to me, and I'm like, why in the Hello Kitty, which I stole from somebody that left that on a comment on my video, why in the Hello Kitty is, now I cannot play this for you, okay, with the sound, but you can get the full impression of Jojo Siwa right here, okay? I don't know who she is trying to be in this. I am very confused, okay, of why she's dressed up like this, but I don't know, she looks like somebody from the Westboro Baptist Church done snatched her up after she said she wasn't a lesbian anymore and asked her to go on tour with the Carter Family Singers or something. I am confusion about what the fuck is going on with Miss Jojo Siwa, okay? But anyway, when I said she should reinvent herself into a completely different look and not this ice-capade that fell into the ocean and turned into a sea monkey lesbian on beating up people in that Karma video, this was not what I was talking about, okay? I just want to make that very clear. When I said she should do a different redo, this was not what I was talking about. Anyway, okay. So she says on here, thinking about maybe releasing it at the end of this week on Spotify. Would you want me to? Would you stream it if I did? That would be a solid no from me, okay? And no, JoJo is a complete sentence. I decided to go to the studio and record a vocal on it, she said. I got the final version of the song today. It is so bad, okay? And so at the bottom of it, she sings, after performing this song live and then seeing the beautiful response to it, I decided to go record a studio vocal. It's undecided if I should release it on Spotify or not. Would you want me to? If you would, I'm thinking maybe end of this week. Now, here's the problem with people like Jojo Siwa, okay? That everybody around them is hired, okay? So you need to maybe not listen to these people and maybe listen to your audience that's telling you the truth, because it's bad, okay? So if you don't know, well, so I'm outside, I'm like, I go and I'm like listening to a song, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I love that song so much. Betty Davis eyes. And don't nobody know the lyrics to Betty Davis. I had to look up these lyrics, okay? Because I can remember some of them. I thought it was like, she'll scold you, and she'll hold you, and she'll roller skate as she told you. I don't remember any of the words to Betty Davis eyes. Nobody does, okay? Nobody does. And when I sing to you the lyrics, you'll understand why. Because they are so confusing, okay? And she'll tease you, she'll unease you, all the better just to please you. She's precocious, and she knows just what it takes to make a pro blush. I never knew those words were pro blush. What is a pro blush? Oh, a pro. Like not an amateur, but a pro. Girl, that was cute, Kim Carnes. Okay, she got Greta Garbo stand-up size. She's got Betty Davis eyes. See, this is me roller skating in my driveway to it. Okay, but I knew. The song came out in 1981, okay? I was born in 1972. So when people want to say, Peter, you're sure old to talk about this shit, I'm actually more age appropriate to be talking about this shit than Jojo Siwa is to be singing it, okay? Because I was 9 years old when this song came out, okay? Kim Carnes is 79 years old. I just looked it up. Now, I done seen Stevie Nicks in concert last year. She's like 77. It's not the same as it was in 1987. Oh my God, was that, how many years ago was that? In 1987 when I saw Fleetwood Mac at Market Square Arena, okay? It was not the same, but she tried. She did some spins. They brought some tambourines out, things like that. She had to take a bathroom break. She let us all know. Stevie let us know she had to take a bathroom break. But I was like, I think I have this 45 in my basement. You kids don't know what this is. Okay, this is a 45. So you got your big records. What are those called? The vinyl. What's that called? Why can't I remember what a 45? It's a 33. I don't know, the big ones, right? But this was a 45. This is what we all owned when I was growing up as a kid, okay? And these were like, well, it probably has the price on one of these because I pulled some of them. I was like, I literally in the basement, I had probably 300 of these, okay? And I was like, my husband's coming on his way home. He's stopping at Costco. I got to get this video made. So I just pulled some of my favorites. But anyway, I don't know how much these were. Are there any of them that have a price? Oh, this one does have a price tag on it. Okay. So, the year that, it doesn't say, the year that Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper came out, I paid $2.49 for it. Okay, and nobody ever listened to the B-side. The B-side was Wrong Track, Wrong Train. I don't know that I've ever heard that song by Cyndi Lauper. But I do have, right here, you can see it. Girls just wanna have, they just wanna. Should I release it next week? Oh my God, I got such great presentation for it. Okay, and then I also have Juice Newton. Blame it on the Queen of Hearts, ba 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 ba. No one even really smarts. The Joker is the only fool do anything for you. Okay, and then I also have the original, baby. The original Eurythmics Sweet Dreams right here. I got the original. I love rock and roll. So put another dime on the jukebox, baby. By Joan Jett and the Blackhearts right here. Okay, the B-side is You Don't Know What You've Got by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Don't know that song. Okay, and then I got Rock the Casbah, Rock the Casbah. The king pulled out his jet fighters. Pew, pew. That's from The Clash. Oh my God, another Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time, and I'll Kiss You. I've never heard, I'll Kiss You is the B-side, never heard of it. And then I have Culture Club, Do You Really Wanna Hurt Me? Okay, and then I have Sheena Easton, Morning Train, 9 to 5, which I sang for you all live. That was my live version of it. And then I have Bananarama, Venus, Love. Look, this is how they used to come back in the day. And White Train. Never heard of that one. Okay. And then I have Prince, 1999. The original, baby. The original. And then I have, are you ready? Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Oh, JoJo, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Please don't sing anymore, though. Please don't sing anymore. If there was a present that Jojo Siwa could give us this year, it would be that she would not sing anymore. So I go in and I watch this TikTok of her, okay? And the TikTok is her singing this Kim Carnes song, God Love Her. She tried so hard, okay? It looked like she was singing, the circle be unbroken by and by. That's what it looked like. It did look like she was like part of the June Carter Cash singing trio, didn't it? Or one of those Christian rock singers back from the day. So she put underneath here, after performing this song live, hold on, I'm going to read you the comments in a second. But it gets even better than that. Just wait, okay? After performing this song live, and then I just want to apologize to anybody out there that had, and I'm not even part of her team, thank God, but I just want to apologize to anybody that had to see her perform this live, okay? I wish I could, can I just play like 2 seconds of it? Taste just what it... Everybody in the comments is like, it sounds like she smokes like 5 packs of cigarettes a day. Well, that's kind of how Kim Carnes sounds. It's like Stevie Nicks, okay? It's not like, Stevie Nicks sounds that way. So when you're taking it, and you're trying to Miley Cyrus it, which is what Jojo Siwa does with everything. She tries to Miley Cyrus it into her, like, she says it's her version. It's not. It's literally a bad karaoke cover of it. And she's going to release it to the world to make money off of it. Okay. So the comments underneath here are hilarious, okay? I mean, there is literally, can I just show you? The crossover I never knew I needed. There is an Amy Slayton Halterman gif, okay, in the comment sections of Jojo Siwa's video. Somebody said, is this an anti-smoking campaign? Somebody said, you need more honest people on your team. 41 replies. Somebody said, I'm 95% sure she has no team right now. Somebody said, for real, not everyone is meant to be a singer. She's trying to copy the original. It's not a good copy of it. She has a great team, I'm sure. She just needs people like you to do what? So people go on and say, yeah, so I can actually sing and I work in the music industry. So now they're fighting in there. I love a good fight in the comment sections. Are you calling this genre straight pop? Because when she came out as a lesbian. So this is the thing, that Jojo Siwa said that she felt like she was forced to come out as a lesbian. As a gay man that's 53 years old, I feel like Jojo Siwa benefited financially greatly off of coming out. So I don't know who forced her to, but she made a lot of money off of Pride Festival. She put out music. She said she coined the phrase queer pop, that she was reinventing an entire phase of queer pop and all that kind of stuff. She got a lot of drama, a lot of coverage for her different relationships that she had. So for me, and we'll cover that in another video if you want to hear about it, I feel like financially she benefited greatly, which is another reason why I take huge issue with the fact that during Pride Month, she came out and she said that she felt like she was forced to. When that's a lot of the backlash the LGBTQI plus community is getting right now in our world, is that we force people into feeling this way, okay? Now, just put this in perspective. For all of the young people out there who are trying to explain to their parents, this is not a phase, this is not just something that I'm going through, whether I identify as gay or lesbian, bisexual, whether they are trans, whether they are asexual, pansexual, however they identify, okay? And because I I would assume, I don't know, that's not my experience, that most heterosexual people never have to have this conversation with their parents, their family, their friends, their loved ones, have to explain what that is like for them, how they identify. I'm just asking, if you're straight, did you ever have to sit down and have that conversation with your family? Like, I'm straight, I felt like I needed to tell you this. And then your family says to you, well, is it just a phase? I think it's probably just a phase. You're feeling forced to be this way. It's peer pressure. And then you have to say, no, it's not. This is a feeling that I've had for a very long time, blah, 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 right? I've had so many people share that story with me, okay? That was their experience. So Jojo Siwa, who has a very young following of people, many of which are coming out left and right, okay, and however they identify, now have family members. It's not, I mean, we're seeing a lot of things right now that makes us feel like we're living in the 1950s again, okay? And so it's interesting to me that she does this during Pride Month. Basically, to those parents, are probably watching JoJo a little bit and saying, see, it was a phase for her, it's probably a phase for my kid too. Not to say that for some people, they're still figuring it out. I believe that gender, I believe sexuality can all be fluid. So yes, it is a thing that you're figuring out. Maybe not publicly start making songs, selling music, getting on shows, doing interviews, being the poster child of a person that is supposedly a queer icon, okay, until you have it figured out. Because then what you do is you make the rest of us look fucking bad, okay? That's what you do. As somebody that has been fighting for my rights for over 30 years, Jojo Siwa, you make the LGBTQI plus community look horrible, okay? You feed into the stereotypes, as does your good buddy James Charles, who gets a lot of awards and goes to the GLAAD Awards and things like that, okay? That you give that whole idea, okay, by being his friends, by giving him validation, you two together have set us back 20 years in time, all right? I'm not saying you don't have time to figure your shit out. You have every right to figure your shit out. Maybe not, I mean, we take a lot of issue during Pride Month of people in the LGBTQI plus community with corporations that want to just use us during Pride Month. I feel very similar to Jojo Siwa coming out now and saying she felt forced to do this. Baby, didn't nobody force you to do this, okay? Nobody did, okay? I can tell you that when I came out, and I came out to a very open and loving family, that was one of the hardest things for me to accept, was that I was gay. I didn't have one person, not one person in this entire world, forcing me or making me to feel that I need to come out a certain way. You have the right to figure it out, but maybe not monopolize over it and try to be the next queer icon. You literally came out and said that you were inventing a new genre of music called queer pop. Did somebody force you to say that too? Did somebody force you to get into these relationships that you were in and to do interviews with these people that you were in relationships, or to use those relationships to get you on shows or to have marketing? Did somebody force you to do all of that? Did somebody force you to put the song Karma out that you are literally still talking about today? And that song was about your ex, okay? So I'm sorry that I'm asking you to back up yourself a little bit and maybe realize how you're affecting the rest of us out there in a community that you no longer want to be part of, okay? Yeah, I take a lot of issue with that. So anyway, the comments underneath here are very, very interesting. Somebody said, are you calling this genre straight pop? Somebody said, this is the wildest auto-tuning I have ever heard. Somebody said, this cannot be real. Somebody said, here's my title, former Dance Mom star Jojo Siwa threatens to release music. There you heard it. What are the replies underneath here? Somebody put, oh my God, the gifts, threatens. They put the dead emoji. Please, you guys. Your voice sounds like it hurts. Jojo Siwa threatens to release more music. Oh, here's another one. I'm scared. I'm shivering. I'm shaking. Is this real? Why does this sound like Abby Lee Miller? Because they both yell at children. Oh, that's interesting, because of her and her mom's show that they swept that under there's all these different things. Jojo, please, somebody said. I can't read that one. This has to be the longest humiliation ritual ever. The way we will be able to track, they're saying that they're going to track her conservatism now. She 100% thinks she sounds like Miley Cyrus. The world is suffering enough right now. Please keep it. I do want to say this really quick. I meant to say this at the beginning of my video. Prayers and love to all the people in Texas right now from the floods. It is so scary what is going on. And please, for all of you out there in Texas, I'm sending lots of prayers and love. And for everybody watching the video, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please educate yourself and find out what's going on. There's a lot of really, not just in Texas, but in the world, there's just a lot of really scary shit going on right now, obviously, you know? And so, I guess this is her response to all that. She's going to save the world with a song. What in the cough syrup is going on? Somebody said release the Chris Hughes version, which is the guy that she's supposedly now semi-dating from Big Brother. All I can hear is Chris Hughes' eyes. Somebody said, I can't even understand what she is saying. Somebody said, am I hallucinating? Somebody said the auto-tune doesn't work with the rasp. JoJo, not today. Jojo Siwa threatens to release new music. It's like 5 people on here put it underneath there. Please say it has Chris Hughes' eyes. I mean, people are and they are just letting her have it. So I was like, okay, I remembered the song. And it's not been too long since I've heard the song. And I was like, I know Kim Carnes had a raspy voice, but I was like, but Kim Carnes, I mean, Jojo Siwa, if you watch the TikTok, she's like, I mean, she's like screaming, it's like, honey. The camera stopped, it was the 30-minute mark. It's like, honey, please, okay, I will bring you whatever soda you want. Stop yelling at stop yelling at the server, okay? I mean, it's bad. So I went over to the Kim Carnes video for Betty Davis Eyes, and I was like, I want to so it's from 16 years ago, 251 million views, it's on Kim Carnes Music, Kim Carnes, Betty Davis Eyes. So I was like, let's read, hold on, let me go out of this and come back in. So, Kim Carnes, hold on a second, Betty Davis Eyes, when you go to her version of it, okay, where is it at? Here it is. And you read the comments from newest to oldest, well, actually, the top comment on there is from 13 hours ago. It's been up for 16 years, okay? Who else is here because of Jojo Siwa? So when people want to say that Jojo Siwa has no relevance, okay, or she has no power, and she wants to talk about people threatening her, okay, or that she feels that people are pushing her to do this or to do that. She has a lot of power. When we talk about these people like Jojo Siwa, we talk about James Charles, the power differential, they have a lot of power, okay? Whether people like them or don't like them, they have a lot of power. So when I take issue with the fact that people will say that's not her responsibility to be a role model for the LGBTQI plus community. She could have just been a member of the LGBTQI plus community that felt like she was pushed into it and not have to go to Pride Day festivals. When you go to Pride Day festivals and you perform, you are choosing to be a role model of the LGBTQI plus community. When you are releasing music under the guise of it being queer pop, which you are saying you invented, you are choosing to be an LGBTQI plus role model, okay? Just to prove to you the power, this song has been up for 16 years, okay? A comment from 13 years ago about Jojo Siwa is the #1 comment. It has 251 million views in this video in 16 years. The #1 comment says, who else is here because of Jojo Siwa with 212 likes? Somebody said, came here to actually hear what it sounds like because I literally couldn't hear the melody from JoJo's version. Somebody said, yeah, JoJo needed to erase what she'd done to this masterpiece. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, and how much better JoJo made a fool of herself. I mean, it goes on and on and on. When you go to the newest comments, that's the top comment. Somebody says, come on, Kim, show JoJo how it's done. One of the best songs ever. You don't have to think twice. Somebody said this is one of my mom's favorite songs. Oh, before she passed away. I'm sorry. That's so sad. Somebody said I'm here because I was a teen in the 80s. Missed those days. Thanks, Kim Carnes. Remind me of someone. And somebody said, so we're all here for the same reason. Jojo Siwa did it better. The hell she did. Somebody said, cleansing my ears because of Jojo Siwa. Somebody said, I can't believe that ridiculous cover by Jojo Siwa got us all reunited here to see what the original song sounds like. There's literally hundreds of comments on this video. I'm like, all under Kim Carnes is like, who in the fuck is Jojo Siwa? She's like 79 years old. She's like, who the fuck is Jojo Siwa? And why did she not? Please, Kim Carnes, I am begging you, do not do a song with, if she reaches out to you, do not do a song with Jojo Siwa, okay? Do not. Jojo Siwa is quickly becoming one of the most problematic people. And I'll tell you this is what's sad about it. I did watch Dance Moms back in the day. I watched every episode of Dance Moms from the very beginning with Candy Apples and Miss Vivi, little Vivi. Do you remember her? Somebody said she's like a famous dancer. Who? Vivi. She couldn't put 2 feet together to dance. Listen, she couldn't do the left-right shuffle to save her life. But somebody said Miss Vivi is doing great. So good. I love to watch Vivi eating ice cream. Candy Apples would go to the ice cream store and she'd plot about Miss Abby. And then Vivi just be like, stuffing ice cream down her mouth. I loved Vivi. Vivi stole that show, okay? But anyway, I watch every episode with my friend Melissa. We also watch Diana on DD4L. But anyway, I watch every episode, even when they brought in the Tinies or whatever they were called. I don't know what them little girls were called. They couldn't dance to save their lives. But I always felt bad for Jojo Siwa. All the girls were mean to her. She had that big bow. She loved that big bow. And a couple years ago, well, when all this nonsense started with Jojo Siwa, when she said you can take a lie and run with it, the internet will do anything with it. I think it's important, if you remember that, when she defended Colleen Ballinger, and she said, you know, this is the thing about the internet. You can take a lie and run with it. So Jojo Siwa, that's now slapping you in the face, okay? Because everything that you said online, I guess we should just take it and we can run with it now. Because see, you said that, okay? And you said that defending yourself against actual victims, or defending Colleen Ballinger against actual victims. So I guess we can take that about the internet and say, the thing about the internet is they can take a lie and run with it. Well, the lie is actually, baby, that you're a good singer. That's the lie, okay? And you got fans that will not tell you no, and so you are not reading what people are really telling you, and you are still believing that you are a singer. But I don't even really believe it's about that, okay? I think it's that you are a very calculated young lady that is willing to build into any of the drama, whether it's you saying you're not a lesbian anymore, or this relationship that you had with this dude supposedly on Big Brother, or your friendship with this person, your friendship with that person, to put out music that nobody needs, that you can make $1.99 off of each download or put it up on Spotify. I think that's really what it's about, because I think the money's running a little bit dry for Jojo Siwa. Now, Jojo Siwa had you chosen a couple years ago, like I said, okay, to turn the bow on your head into like a necklace that as your audience grew older, they could say, I still believe in all the things that Jojo Siwa believed in. Because see, when Jojo Siwa was on Dance Moms, what she represented, okay, was to be exactly who you are. And isn't that an amazing thing in our world today? To, at such a young age, to be embracing yourself enough, to have the confidence to say, I don't care if these people are going to laugh at me. I don't care if these girls that I'm on a stage with are going to make fun of me. I'm going to wear this bow, and I'm going to wear it with pride, and I'm going to love it. And that's really the sentiment of what coming out is so much about. That I don't care who's going to put me down about this. I don't care who's going to make fun of me. I don't care who's going to say things about me or shame me. I am no longer willing to live in the shadows of shame, and I'm going to come out and I'm going to live my truth. She could have transitioned that, okay, into being an adult for all the people that watched her, gay, straight, whatever, okay? She could have transitioned that for everybody instead of all this drama that she's constantly stirring it up. But you know what? She learned it from the best. Look at the people that she surrounded herself with. So, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't expect a whole lot more from Jojo Siwa. But I'll tell you one thing I wasn't expecting. Her to ruin this song from my childhood. I was not. So anyway, let me know what you think about all that in the comment section. I'm gonna go put these 45s back where they belong in the basement. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.